Hi, everyone. My name is Faith Howard Mooney. I'm the VP of Member Engagement at the Mortgage Collaborative. And I have somebody, we're on camera, but I have somebody who's local here with me, probably our closest lender member that we have to me here in Minnesota, Dan Smith, who is the Director of Origination Development for Tradition Mortgage. Thanks for doing this with me, Dan.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Exciting to be here.
Yeah. So I used to live directly across the street from one of your offices, moved, but still in Lakeville. You're like, right, we're going to call you Lakeville, even though you're like kind of right outside the edge of Lakeville. So it's been kind of nice to have you here, get together every once in a while and just chat and keep updated. But today, we kind of just like to learn a little bit more about you personally, so that we can share that within the network. You guys joined in November of 2019. Can you believe it's almost been 3 years already since that happened?
Doesn't seem like it.
I
was
know
thinking
we
it was been like a year and a half, 2 years. Then I thought about it. It was definitely before the pandemic. So time has
Yeah.
gone by here. It's been awesome.
Yeah, that pandemic took away a year or two that we kind of forget about every once in a while. But let's get started. Tell me about your first job ever.
Well, I kind of had two first jobs. The first one was like, a lot of young kids had, was just a paper route, but it was a once a week paper route. Every Tuesday, delivering something that was called Home Magazine. It was a little shopper with all sorts of classifieds and business ads. And my brothers and I would wrap them up the night before on Monday nights and then deliver them after school on Tuesday. And I think once we split it three ways, we each got paid about 75 cents an hour. It seemed like, and I'm not sure how that worked out that way. Maybe my older brother kind of took a little more than he should have because he was smarter than I at the time. So he probably pulled one over on me. And then, maybe my first real job where I had to go somewhere was at a restaurant for a family friend washing dishes when I was like, 15 years old instead of like 8 or 9 years old, delivering newspapers. And, I worked in the restaurant there until I started college. And then after that, so washing dishes and scrubbing pots and pans, very glamorous work, but it was a great experience to learn a lot of things.
I often say when we talk about those first jobs, it's what you learn from those first jobs a lot of times is what you don't want to do for the rest of your life. And so it motivates you to really kind of dig in and find something that maybe you can see yourself doing for a long period of time. Share with us how you got into mortgage.
Yeah, so about a year after college, I had a friend who had started working for a large mortgage company, just kind of processing and pre-underwriting type jobs, and I was doing something very unrelated, just kind of data entry at a job. It was 2007. Things were kind of it's a tough time to be graduating college, starting into your first job. The economy was kind of really starting to kind of slow down. So then I got a job at working as an initial loan mortgage processor. And 2007, 8, 9, talk about a crazy time to get into the business, and kind of the tail end of some of the interesting things that were going on in the industry to everything kind of slowing down and the mortgage meltdown. You talk about learning as you go. Every day something different was happening and was changing. So
yeah, that's a very interesting time to have entered the market. That is for sure. Is there, when you kind of came in blind, which almost everybody in mortgage does?
yeah.
Nobody plans really to be in mortgage. Is there one thing that you think of now that you just wish you would have known when you came in that would have made your path easier, or you would want other new people coming in now to understand?
Yeah, I think the one thing that comes to mind right away, and I think it's actually one of the cool things about the industry and mortgage, is just the pace of change. Is that things are always changing. One day, 1 week, things are always going to be different. Which I think for some people maybe can be challenging, but I think it makes it interesting. Depending upon what you do, your day is always going to be a little bit different, and you're working on different types of loans with different guidelines. And and stuff is ever changing. So I really wasn't prepared for that. Obviously starting in 2007, 2008, maybe kind of a little bit more change at the time right there, but I certainly wasn't prepared for that. But 15 years later now, I think it's one of the cool things about what we all do.
Yeah, there's never a boring moment in mortgage. There's always something that is shifting. If you weren't in mortgage, what would you be doing?
Oh man, it's been so long that I've been doing this. It's almost hard to think about doing anything different. If I wasn't in mortgage, but as I was looking for maybe doing something different before I got into mortgage, I thought about going back to school to teach. So that's probably what I would be doing. Would be teaching. What I'd be teaching, I'm not really sure, but I had looked at doing that right before I got into the mortgage industry. So that's probably what I would be doing, and that's something that I do a lot of in my job today is training and teaching people. So it's something that's kind of a natural connection for me and something I think I'm good at and I really enjoy. So I'm pretty sure that's where I would be today.
Yep. So in Minnesota, it's now finally summertime. I mean, we were talking before we started here that it's finally summer. We got a great day out there. You're doing a reno on a cabin, but share with me your favorite Minnesota summer activity. What's your very favorite thing to do? With kids, without kids?
Yeah, my very favorite summer thing is for sure being out on the boats, on the pontoon, on the lake with our three girls. And we just my girls love to park the pontoon in the lake and just float there, and they jump and they swim, and I just kind of sit on the boat and watch them jump in every now and then, and we listen to music and kind of hang out there all afternoon on Saturday afternoon. So. That is for sure my favorite thing. Very relaxing, awesome to spend time. We usually have other friends and family that are out there with us. Definitely a very Minnesotan thing.
It is.
But it's really fun.
Fantastic. Well, we really appreciate you doing this with us today. It's been really nice and fun to have you in the network. You've joined a Collab Lab group. You've really kind of gotten engaged with some people here. So really appreciate the fact. It's kind of one of the things with TMC. I think what you put into it, you kind of get out of it in return. So we're happy to have you in our family and really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I look forward to seeing you and hopefully lots of other people in September in Chicago.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing you there.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Faith.